So why does Billy Gates and a lot of the most educated among us, why do they believe that we should depopulate, that we have to depopulate our world? Well, if you don't know that that's true, go watch some of Billy G's on-stage appearances. One in which he holds up a vial of vaccine and he says, if we do a good job with this vaccine, we can reduce the world's population by 10 to 15%. Wait a minute. That doesn't make sense. I thought vaccines are supposed to create health and wellness. And what comes from health and wellness? More people, right? The narrative that is the foundation of this agenda, and the reason that it could be that people like Trump and Kennedy and Tulsi and all of these, well, very famous and very influential people, and maybe Joe Rogan, maybe Tucker Carlson, I don't know for sure, but I do know one thing: they're supporting the folks that are in charge. And the folks that are in charge helped create Operation Warp Speed. And what have we learned, right, the awake among us, about those jabs? That they actually create sterilization and depopulation. So why is this happening? Well, okay, at the top level, and I don't want to get off track because the fundamental argument that I'm making, I think, stands. But I also am a spiritual fella, Christian. And by the way, that does not discount the other religions or the other faiths. I just happen to be Christian. I grew up in Minnesota. So my point is I believe that there is some type of good and evil thing going on above that. And above that, I think that this is a game in the mind of God. So this isn't about fear or any of those things. And I might be wrong. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying that's what I believe. So if we did have a population problem, if we had to depopulate this world, otherwise the whole world would die, then it would be our job to organize to reduce our population, right? It would not be the job of the government to secretly kill people, right? And their spoken agenda is a massive reduction in population, right? So that's what's going on. And if you were in some of these meetings with these very educated people where these people like Gates and others are laying out the facts and the science about how we're going to kill everything by overpopulation, and you believed them, then you would jump on this narrative. Then you would jump on this story. And you would secretly be hoping that more people get vaccinated and either become sterile and or die. Because you think that that's the only way to save the world in general. The whole thing is a lie. The whole thing is bullshit. When we take out the poisons and we grow food instead of lawns, two things happen, my friends. Number one is we can create enough food locally to serve really an infinite amount of people. If we use our resources in a regenerative way, in a sustainable way, then there's really no limits to the amount of abundance in life that we can have. And we can go explore the stars, and we can go put life on Mars and shit like that. Once we have enough abundance here and we became a kind of a seed of abundance, right? It's limitless what can be done once we get to that point. We have not got there yet. So this lie that there's too many people in the world and they need to be culled, that is the lie that we need to demonstrate the falsehood of and demonstrate the truth of what nature can provide, what God's design can provide, right? So to all of you who believe in this overpopulation narrative, you are being led by evil. You are being deceived. It's time to wake up, and it's time to do what needs to be done to demonstrate that lie, that's a lie, and call it out, right? Call out your mistakes, call out your ignorance, and say, I was ignorant. I thought I was doing the right thing. I repent. I apologize. Now I'm going to do the right thing, right? It's time right now, my friends. It's all happening fast.